Yeah, thank you for having me, man. And good to see my brother TK.
Yes, sir.
Looking good, TK.
Thanks, man. You looking good too, man. You ain't changed a bit, man. Not a wrinkle, nothing, man.
Bro, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. And, you know, for the people that's joining, thank you for our support through the years. You know, when we drove into Atlanta with, you know, we didn't think, you know, we thought we would have some good things happen, but not as dreams to the level that we were blessed to have it happen. So thank you guys for rocking with us all those years. Appreciate it. PK?
We appreciate it, man, for real, man. Like, they have no idea. We ain't really, you know what? They really don't know the whole story. The whole story is bananas, but if we can get to that, we will. But nah, Bob couldn't have said it any better, man. We appreciate everybody that, you know, man, just been supporting us over the years, man, because we had no idea it was going to go where it went. You know what I mean? We just going. We just like, hey, if they just get we just get a foot in the door, man, like we gone, man, yo. So we just never looked back. And then when we did realize and look back, we was out the deal. We was like looking at each other like, now what? Because that's all we knew was Dallas, dark, and you know what was going on in that world, but not, you know, creating a Tim and Bob world outside of that. So, you know, I don't know how it happened, man. It's nothing but God, man, because when I go back and think about it, I'm like, man, that was crazy.
Yeah. Guys, you know, we're still waiting on Bobby V to come back. I don't know if he's going to come back yet, but, you know, I want to take it back to there, like paint the picture for me, because you guys worked with Bobby on the Mista album, on the unreleased second Mista album. Like, what was that time frame? Like, that was like 97, 98, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, I think it was around that time. Yep, like 96, 90. Yeah, like 96, 98, give or take. But that album was crazy too. It never got released, but man, that was it is on that album.
You got them demos, man?
No, I don't have them anymore.
It probably is in that bag, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was dope, but yeah, we was in Atlanta, and the Atlanta music scene was really popping off, and yeah, we had gotten to mix with them a few times, and the stuff never came out, you know, that we did with Mr. So, but that's where our relationship with Bobby started.
What did you guys do up until that point? Like, did the Tamia record, did you guys do that yet? The John B records, like, what was that time?
Nah, that haven't came out yet. We were still fresh and still new in Atlanta, man. We just did maybe, well, Bob, TLC, Boyz II Men, you know, the usual suspects, and then we ended up, what was it, 112? We did 112, yeah.
I'm seeing it, yep.
112, Destiny's Child. So we was kind of new. It was kind of the first 2-3 years or something like that, and we were still trying to, you know, get our footing right. I mean, we had so many styles, so that wasn't even the issue. It was just like, you know, we was trying to get on, like we was doing at the beginning, just taking full projects, you know, just trying to learn, you know, just take after our guys looked up to, Jam and Lewis, you know, Ellie and Face and Dallas, just taking whole projects. So that's what we was just trying to do. And Dallas kept telling us, man, hey, I need to find some new artists and this and that. And it was crazy because they were just about to get dropped. And then they had this A&R, this new A&R that came up there. And when we did like 3 songs, they said we was going to be executive producer over it. So me and Bob was like, oh, okay. Now we got to really give him our stuff, man. You know what I mean? So we started working on them. And then that's when the height discrepancy came, man. It was like there was a basketball team, man, right? It was like 6 foot, 6'2", 5'11", and then Bobby was 5'2" or 5'3" back then. So it just, I think it was more so the, I don't know, man, a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. But I think that was one of the main things because the look, according to, you know, Sylvia Rome, she was saying the look because the records we did, man. I mean, that was some of our best work that just never came out.
Yeah.
And Derek Cutters is
brother.
What's up, brothers?
There
All right, there we go.
Clean
What's
as a
up,
pillar.
brothers?
The Wi-Fi is good now, Bobby.
Yeah, man.
Clean
Hey,
as
man.
a bell now.
First, I just want to say, man, it's such a blessing and just a treat to see Tim and Bob, my big brothers, my favorite producers ever, just on here. And I mean, and I want to thank, I got soul too, man, because it's just so big. Like what y'all do for R&B, like really R&B is just like it's sad, but it's still good because I love R&B and Tim and
Yeah.
Bob love R&B. But where R&B is, you guys just try so hard to keep it alive, man, and that's just so awesome. You know what I'm saying? But to be here with Tim and Bob, man,
Yeah.
my brothers, these guys changed my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my own boat right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it's really because of Tim and Bob. You know what I mean? And
Man,
these
thanks,
guys,
Cutters.
Brother.
these guys have like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting kind of choked up because I'm feeling like a little sentimental. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling a little sentimental, but for real though, like it's really a blessing, man. And like honestly, I know a lot of people say that Bobby V, you don't get your just due and this and that. But these is two guys that don't get their just due. I can deal with me not getting the just due, right? Tim and Bob, like for real, they have really made R&B music. You know what I'm saying? And like they got so many hits that people don't know about, and I just feel like they need to be celebrated more. And I appreciate I got soul for like really just understanding and realizing who Tim and Bob is. Like for real, after Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, it's Tim and Bob. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure.
I'm not gonna really keep talking because I can just talk all day about these guys and what they've done for me and just how I could just go in the studio and I could be like, yo, I want to make a track like a Jodeci track, and these guys will just go in, or Bob will be doing tracks at his crib, and he'll bring tracks to the studio, and Tim will be like, oh, that's jamming. Let me put this on there, or vice versa. Or Tim will do a track, and Bob will be like, oh, this will be dope on there. Like I work with the best of the best, and to me, these guys are the top. They're just the top dogs. And like for me, I wouldn't even have to put no music out. I just want to be in the studio with Tim and Bob. Like for real, Tim and Bob. Bob will tell you, I hit Bob every day. Bob, send me some tracks.
I know.
Tim, send me some tracks. These guys are so exclusive. Oh yeah. I'm gonna send you a track. And they don't send me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put
Cutters,
on
you got
blast about that too. Cause I just be wanting to ride to the Tim and Bob track. You know what I'm saying? I just want to ride to them.
Oh man.
Cutters, man. But you know what it is, man? When I just be messing around, you know what it is, you know how it is, Bob. Like
Y'all
you just be messing around, you be like, all right, I just got one that's just looping, I ain't do nothing to it, and I ain't even got it done. Let me just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
then Bobby always catch me with them.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, send that to me, man. So
Right.
like, nah, I just put the last thing on it. It wasn't even really.
But it don't but what y'all don't realize is y'all skeleton is somebody else's full track.
Yep.
Y'all skeleton is a new age producer's full track. They wouldn't even be, and y'all are perfectionists, which a lot of people like now they don't really. What's sad is a lot of people don't know perfection, and in music now, not to like hate on people or hate on music, but it's to me it's not like the craft of like producers like Tim and Bob. I mean, they sit there and they're very meticulous. They want every cymbal to tick tick tick. Every snare gotta be And nowadays, cats ain't producing like that. So
they doing it for the
a lot of
money,
times
man.
when I say, "Hey yo,"
you know what I mean?
send me the track. They be like, yo, it ain't done yet. And they never do it because they just do a million banging ass tracks. That's why I say send it to me because you'll never hear it again.
Bobby, let's
thanks, Cutters. Appreciate that, man. For real, man.
Yeah.
Bobby, I appreciate you for joining us. Let's take it back, what we were talking about earlier. We're talking about the second Mista album, the one that didn't come out. So I've got two questions for you. Bobby,
Yeah.
first question is, do you still have those songs? And number
I
two,
have
what
them
was
on
your
tape.
first?
I have them on tape.
Oh man, we got to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you got them on tape?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
got tapes. Like
Oh,
I
every
got.
last one of them?
So look, I got like all I wanna do is please you, but
Mm.
you just keep pushing me away.
Nice.
And then I got
I know that he hurt you,
Mm.
but I'm not the same that he
Mm.
is.
all
Oh,
I
that
wanna
was
do is thug
crazy,
you.
man. Oh.
Hey, so with Tim and Bob, right? Songs that you did 15, 20 years ago, that's why Slow Down, John B, the Tamia record, like, and the list goes on and on. All of these records are still hot today because their sound is like endless. And it's just sad to me that other guys get like props. And I be sitting there like, oh, it be killing me. So I know that it be killing. Because it killed me too as an artist to see guys that can't really sing or that's just not really musicians. Like Tim and Bob taught me to be a musician. Like I play the piano and all kind of stuff because I idolize them. And my newest project, I produced the majority of the tracks and they sound like some Tim and Bob shit. So it's like, if they hear it, they're going to be like, oh, because I play Tim stuff all the time. Be like, damn, you did that, Cutters? Be like, yeah, man. Because they inspired me to be a producer and to really, like, know music and stuff like that. And just to be a musician. And it just hurts me to see so many guys get a lot of credit and they really stink.
You get nice on too, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Being that, you get a little more precise in that on that thing there, Bobby.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
You're getting
Bobby,
real precise, man.
Huh?
Bobby, take it back to that second missed album because that's your first time working with Tim and Bob. Like, what's your first impression watching them in the studio? That's early on, but they still have hits at that point.
Yeah, that was the album that really made me know that Tim and Bob was like the truth because I worked with a lot of producers at that time, Organized Noise. You know, we had worked with that's who did the whole first album, and then we got with them on the second album, and I just remember Tim and Bob just really like pulling me to the side, and I was always the first to the studio and the last to leave. You know what I'm saying? So
remember that.
a lot of times I ended up doing most of the backgrounds, you know, because I was just in it so much. And I just remember telling them like, yo, we should do a track like this. And then they just recreated them. And we just created, like, if that second Mr. album would have came out, like Mr. would have probably still been around, like for a long time.
I believe so too.
Yeah,
I believe so too.
Because the record,
we went into some different territory with that album.
Man, look,
the different territory, Bob.
Crazy.
Crazy. You know what, man? We did one with that sample, man, that Jay-Z did for Dead Presidents. Remember that one?
Know where we're going.
Oh.
Because I can show just for you all the special things. Oh, come on, man.
Them two. If them would have made it out, Mr. still be together right now.
Oh no, you can't forget baby, walking round down.
Oh yeah, that was the one, Bob. We were trying to make it sound like the time, remember?
Yeah.
They used the French drums and all that.
The bridge was like, and girl, although you're beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, wait. You got that one too?
I think I got that one.
Man, you gotta send them, man. Somebody got to put them on CD. We got to float them around.
I'm gonna go tonight and look.
And I'll EQ
I gotta figure out how to get them.
I'll EQ them and get them all sounding good, man, so we can have them.
Hey, for real, and recreate them. Not even recreate, just recut them boys.
Man, wait a minute. What was the hook to that when you talking about right there? Although you're beautiful. We had them harmonies up there.
It's not pressed for you.
Oh, yeah.
Baby, you gotta want me to. 'cause I'm not gonna swear at you. Oh, I see you walking across. So don't act shady if I step up
up
to
to
you. You're
you.
the kind of guy that said
Never.
never that, never
Yeah,
that from
Never.
me.
Hey,
Oh,
hey
ballad.
man,
yeah.
when
Remember
you
that
get
ballad?
back home, you've got to find them.
Yeah,
Send them
I
to me
got him
so I
on.
can
I got him
EQ them
on a
for us.
tape.
And
I got him
Oh,
on
I've
a
been
tape.
looking for them.
we got to hear that. Bob,
Yeah.
let me throw it. Bob, let me throw it to
Damn.
you. When you guys started working with Bobby V, what was your first impression? Super talented guy. He's in a group. Like, did you foresee that he could end up being a solo star
Are you talking about on the solo or when he was in the group?
in Mista early on?
Yeah, Mister, because he always he just emerged as the leader, the lead singer of the group. It wasn't something that like they be like said, okay, he's got to be happen naturally because of his performance. Like I said, you know, first come leave, and so it just kind of came naturally. And so, especially once we learned how to write within the that was comfortable for him, and like certain melodies, like it just, and then when we would stack the harmonies, and the other guys, their tone was really nice too, especially with the harmony when we would do the. I know people don't do a lot of harmonies these days, but you know, it was the sound was sick. If you go back and hear that album, you would really say like, okay, now it really you can hear it was like pre Bobby V era, like that sound we was going with them. It was and at the time where music was back then, like towards the end of the '90s, it was so dope, man. Those joints were crazy. And I was saying earlier, did y'all remember Baby Love? Y'all remember that ballad?
Wait,
I don't ever have
Yeah.
to look no more. She's what I've
I've
been
been looking for my
looking
baby, look,
for.
man.
My
Okay,
baby
man. You got
love.
that one, Bobby?
Oh no. Damn.
Hey, man.
I
Hey,
like the song, man.
man. Them was some real
Damn.
records right there, man.
So that's why
Yeah. Hey,
Bobby's album came, when it came time to do that, it was like a walk through the park. Like as far as how
you know what? I got something to make y'all remember. Remember, so Bobby do all the lower parts, right? And then we'd have what was the other one?
Brandon.
Yeah, we had Brandon or the other one do some higher parts.
Daryl.
Because Daryl, right?
yeah,
Then I was like, just out of nowhere, I was like, hey Bob, I said, man, try to false that, man. Dude, he was like, nah, I don't do that, man. I leave it up to Daryl, man. I'm like, nah, you need to try it, man. He's like,
I
you're
remember
right.
you, I can't do it. I don't false, man.
I remember
I'm like, you could get up that high, man. And then what it was they just, just like any other group, like Boys and Men too, they know their own roles in the group or whatever. But I was like, the way Bobby's voice was sounding back then, I want to see if he had a false or he could, man, when he started falsing, man, we had him falsing on every record, man.
Yeah.
Because his falsing starts slowly but surely like coming out. And I'm like, okay, and then his range. Like,
Yep.
you had that range, man.
I didn't.
So we
didn't.
just started
Y'all,
just
you
using them on
definitely brought that out.
on every verse.
You definitely
Yeah,
brought
we used
that
them
out.
on virtually every verse. It wasn't nothing personal. We just trying to get a hit record real quick. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Because they was getting all kind of uncomfortable, and the label was. So we was like, hey, all right, we're going to give them the best we got. And Bobby was always up, up and ready to bat.
Yeah.
Ready to try, different things that we would ask him to try, and he just sucked all the, the room up, man. Yeah. So if the guys was mad at us, man, we apologize. Just the way it happened, man. It was the way it happened. We wasn't even trying, man. It just happened that way.
So,
yeah.
Bobby, let's get to the debut album. I know you spent a lot of time living with Tim at the time, just grooving, just vibing. Like, take me back to that time. Like, what were the conversations that you guys had, all three of you guys, when going into that project? Like, do you remember what conversations you guys had?
I just remember arriving on Tim's doorstep like a baby that just got dropped off from a mother that didn't want And
We
he
was,
was
I
like,
was so shocked.
yo, Bobby, what's up with the? And Poon had took me over there, and I was like, yo, I've been looking for y'all, you know, and it's just, you know, sometimes those memories, it's like when you broke and you trying to make it, a lot of times those memories are the memories that kind of make you, that's what make you, you know. A lot of people,
Yeah.
of course, we all want to make money and we want to be successful in life, but a lot of times, those are the best times when you're trying to get on, when you're trying to make it, when you're trying to get to that next level in life. And a lot of people don't realize that everybody just wants to hit, just smash. And then it's like when you finally do smash, you look at those times and you're like, dang, that was still a great time, you know? And I just remember just being every morning, Tim would wake up with all these different sounds and we was just vibing. And I think that album is a classic because we were all so close knit. You know, Tim and Bob could work with anybody. A lot of producers can work with anybody, but I think that best body of work comes when the producers and the artists are just like really locked in and they really know each other. You can look at Aaliyah album with Timbaland and Devontae with Jodeci, and you know, all the classic albums, they don't have really a lot of producers on them. They got a couple producers, but the main guys is somebody that person really locks in with. They get to know them. They get to know their family. You know, they get to know the things they like, what they dislike. They hang out. We were hanging out. We was going to strip clubs, just having a good time. And at the time, I didn't have no money. And Tim and Bob, they had all the money. You know what I'm saying? So I remember there was a place in California called Cuckoo Roo. Me and Tim used to go eat at Cuckoo Roo all the time.
Oh yeah.
Eat the little red
and then
chicken.
remember that. And then Bob, remember that one joint down the street from they had like this teriyaki chicken bowl. We used to go work out.
Bob, yeah, we used to all go work out together.
With a trainer already, so Bob was taking some. We go through all them weird things, then we go over there and get that chicken bowl.
Yeah, we used to all go work out together. And really, I tell the story about Slow Down. Like, Slow Down was really like a real situation that happened. Like, man, we went down. I had a certain type of young lady that I kept bringing to Tim's crib. And he was like, yo, man, you gotta check. We in California, because I'm from Atlanta, so I don't really know. He's like, man, we in California, man. It's all type of people out here and all different nationalities and all types of stuff. You don't have to like just limit yourself to just, this is not like Atlanta where it's kind of a little segregated in a sense, you know, it's kind of black and white. But California is more open and more free as far as cultures mixing. And I just remember we went down to Melrose, and at the time, Tim had probably like 6 or 7 cars. He was just tricking them all out. He had the suede on the inside, suede on the outside. Bob had 2 cars. Bob had the G-Wagon before G-Wagon had the G-Wagon.
And Bob had G-Wagons, man, like 5 Porsches.
Yeah, and the Porsches. And Bob was on the whips that everybody
the drop top, the hard top, however he wanted him. This is Porsche crazy.
But I remember that first album, we recorded it at Record Plant, and actually, the first album really, Tim and Bob came out of their money, they pocket to record the first album. I mean, they got reimbursed, but they kind of went out on a limb with me, you know, because at the time I was signed, they didn't really want to put money up. You know, it's kind of, you know how the game is. But Tim and Bob really believed in me so much that they put their own money up to record the album. And I think that because of that, too, that helped get their best material. Because they like, shit, I'm putting my money up, too. I'm come with that heat. I ain't playing around in here. I'm putting my money up.
Got to go all the way in there.
But
you know what's crazy, man? You know what's crazy? I mean, we might be going way ahead, but I'm going to say this and then we'll catch up with it. You know what? Okay, that Asian sound that we did for Bobby, Bob can attest, man. Like, I used to always go to all kind of different websites and like order CDs, man. We had Indian sounds, man. We had an Indian sound, we had an Asian sound, Asian and Indian, all kind of nationalities, man. But we never met anybody that I thought that would understand it and like it. So we just never showed any art. We had it since Atlanta, man.
Wow.
Because it's crazy because when you just talked to me earlier, you said like, play some of the stuff. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna play some too, where you can see. I'll even show you the dates because I date all of the discs. Man, I got them all the way back from like 94 or 5, man. We really had like
back to
all that stuff back then. So, point I'm making, Bob, you'll know this, is that I had them, but I was like, man, I don't know, man, because it's really sounded like a really good R&B album. If I showed them these tracks, man, maybe it might switch stuff up and do something. I don't know. So remember the night when I said, hey, man, I'm gonna just play something, man. Y'all just tell me if y'all like it or not, man. If y'all don't like it, it's cool, man. Because I just had the beat. So I just played the beat. Everybody went crazy. Bob grabbed the guitar, man, and put all kind of effects on it. And then just start doing, because we like this song called Even When You Sleep from SOS Band. They used to always do like this reverse guitar. Like, you know what I mean? And Bob was perfect with that. So when he put that on there, man, we was like, and he had all the sauces on the guitar. We was like, okay, wait a minute. We might need a reverse and go do some more of these records. You know what I'm saying? But Give Me a Chance was the only one. That's more like kind of like Indian, more. That's not really.
Give Me a Chance before we did Slow Down, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that was.
But that got us. That got us in the vibe.
That got us in the vibe. It did.
Yeah.
And that was the only one. So we just started doing Touch Me and all that stuff. Then we got to the slow joints, doing the Isley Brothers, Joe the C was trying to get all them feels. But man, I'm telling you, we was not thinking about going that direction of Slow Down and Tell Me to way on the end.
Yeah, because Slow Down, that was like one of the last ones we did.
Yeah, it was. Slow Down and wasn't they the last?
And then Tell Me. You went to the crib and came back for Tell Me, remember?
Yeah, we did Tell Me after we saw the success of like, oh, Slow Down, getting some buzz. We need a sister to that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm exactly what happened. So remember when Shaka was trying to stop Slow Down from being a single? He's like, that single, we got to
sure was.
Listen, everybody was trying to stop. A lot of people, oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. You know, we just stuck to our guns. We was like, man, y'all tripping. And that's one thing all the artists and people out there, producers, artists, if you believe in yourself and believe in your particular song, don't let nobody take you off of your square on that. Because a lot of people,
you got that right, man.
Music is so opinionated. Everybody's going to like this. Everybody's going to like that. But at the end of the day, it's who you are and what you are. And I fast forward to like my second album where, you know, I now had a major label to dictate. They always want to come in and dictate who you are when they didn't get you started. And
right, exactly. Now they want to jump in. Yeah.
That's what happens to all the artists. When people be like, oh, what happened to such and such? Oh, why this artist, why you didn't do that no more? A lot of times it's not the artist. It be the label want to come in, and because they have a producer deal with somebody else, they want this particular producer to produce the whole album, which throws most artists off because artists work well with who they work well with, and they have a sound with who they have a sound with, you know.
That's why Janet
that's kind of what happened to me. Yeah, that's what happened to me on my second album.
It did.
Of course, I had a couple hits off of it, but it's not songs like Slow Down and Tell Me and My Angel and
we had them though.
Really resonate.
We had them for your second album, remember? Looking at you,
we had them, but they didn't go with it.
Matter of fact, your home girl is hot. I thought that was gonna be. I really thought that was gonna be the first single. I was like, that's as good as like
on the album. Been going the album, did it?
That can come out right now though.
Right now.
Guys, I want to take it to that debut. I don't know where Bobby went, but we got to talk about the debut album because it's not only Slow Down and Tell Me, but it's also, you know, the Tell Me remix with Lil Wayne, but it's also the Slow Down remix. That remix is crazy.
Oh yeah, you know what? We was literally thinking about like, and I have to preface this like, I know like art is a real sensitive subject these days, especially like with the things that's alleged, all that stuff. But if we're being honest, man, he was a huge inspiration in the 90s. You know, like him and of course Devontae. So
yeah,
the Slow Down remix was like a culmination of us paying homage to those two guys. Like melodically, a lot of the melodies and stuff we do, like, you know, we love, and we kind of come from the same, you know, from the Midwest as far as like R. Kelly, but like, you know, we was kind of paying homage to them, and then on the production side, like Devontae, of course, Jodeci, like with those arrangements, that's what it was really about. But like, that's one of my favorite tracks we ever did, actually, that Slow Down remix.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's one of mine too, man. Because
that joint was just
when we mentioned it, man, we didn't even finish, man, even speaking on it, man. We just grabbed some instruments, man.
you know,
grab some instruments and just like, let's go, man.
You know what's crazy about Bobby's first album? We did the whole album in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And
really,
it wasn't like we were rushing through it. Everything was just flowing, you know. And then it also, you know, basically when we got to the end of it, it wasn't like Luda was like, yeah, is it like Luda wasn't even in the picture yet. Like,
wow.
Tim went to the radio station because he called
Fred. What up, man?
Called me.
Fred Jerkins just came to say what's up. I've been talking to him, man. What's up, Fred?
He said, yeah, Tim went to the radio station. Because he called me after. He's like, man, I'm up here at the radio station with PJ Butter. And that they started playing down. Like, it wasn't still on the table or nothing. And so, and that's where it started really popping off. And so then it was like the next night, then the next night.
Remember, that was the night after we did it too.
Yeah. And so
Remember, just did a quick rough mix. And I said, Bob, man, you want to go down here with me, man? He was like, I don't think you're going to play it. I said, me neither, man. I said, but you might, because, you know, PJ was our boy. So he usually play a lot of stuff that we just hand him, and then later on, I said, man, I think I want to go down there and see what's up. Yeah. But it was so late. It was like, what?
Yeah, it was really late when he took it to him. And so that's how it started, man. And by the time, like, Luda got involved, it was popping off. The song was popping off in L.A. for like 2 months. It was like one of the top requested songs in L.A. Who is he? Wow. What does he look like?
Yeah.
He didn't have a deal at that time.
It went up the whole West Coast on top of that. Seattle, like, it kept going all the way up the coast, man, like, playing, like, talking about heavy spins. And then even Power 106, they was only playing, like, hip-hop records. They started playing it. So that's when we knew. We was like, okay, man, something was a little different with this one. So let's see what's up with this one. Let's stick with it. And then Poon, that was involved, too. He knew all the DJs out here, too, because he from here. So he was the one that was kind of like, you know, throwing it around, too. And he helped out a lot. We can't take Poon out the equation. He really, because he was in the DJ pool. So, you know, he started throwing it around, and then they just start playing. And all of a sudden, we just start getting all these requests to come up to the studio. And they still, like Bob said, they didn't even know who Bobby looked like, nothing. They just was playing it strictly off the record, man. Like, they ain't doing that no more. That ain't even happening no more. That's not even happening, man. You're going to first, man, like, but like, far as handling the record, and then, you know, seeing what's up, that ain't even going on, man. It just changed all the way around. Man. You know, Radio One, all of them, man, came in and bought all of the radio stations. So it's like they just give them a list and just be like, here, play this. You know what I mean? It wasn't, we got in just before that happened. Yeah. So, you know, it was just a blessing, man, how it worked, man.
So true.
On Bobby's debut, do you remember what some of the first records you guys did was? Like, was it the ballads, or was it, like, what were some of the earlier records you guys did on that album?
Actually, because when it first started, Tim, remember I was in Florida? Because I was in Florida.
Oh, yeah, you was working on another project.
Yeah, we did projects where one of us would go to the studio, like, so we could do 2 projects at one time. So I had went down to Miami for like a month to work on this project that we had, and it was an independent project, and that came out. But while I was down there, Tim called, hey man, guess who just showed up at my crib? First about that. Like, yeah, man, Poon just brought him, so I'm just gonna do a couple joints. And so then he hit me like in the middle of doing the songs, like the first song. He's like, hey man, telling you.
Want you to know me.
Yeah.
Want you to know me better than I know me. And, yeah, that was the very first one that we did. I don't know if you remember that one. That was the first one.
Then I want to say, Angel.
Never Leave You, My Angel.
Angel.
Then that one after that, and then Give Me a Chance. Them the first 3, and then Bob came back by then.
I think y'all.
You know what I mean? It was them 3, and then you came up with when you came in, you came up with the first one. It's alright, can I
Yeah, that's when we just like, I think we went in for like maybe 2.5 weeks, and then all the songs were done.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we were talking to Luda about doing. He wanted to bring us over to Disturbing the Peace to do an R&B division. So we were already in discussion, him and Shaka and Jeff, about us coming there on the executive side, and so so we were already having conversations. That's why it all really made sense for Bobby to be signed to him, because we were all like, because we've been cool with Luda since before he got signed as a rapper,
Yeah.
So back DJ, so we was all like family, and it all just came together perfectly, and so yeah, man, it's crazy to go back and talk about it now.
For the people in the back, I don't think they heard that one. What you just said. Look, man, Luda used to come over to our house and sit down and look in the sky. He'd be looking around like, man, I'm gonna have this one day, man.
Yeah.
Watch. Like, it was like that. Then I'm gonna tell you what's even crazier. So him, Poon, and Lala, that's married to Carmela Anthony.
Yeah.
We was her first interview, me and Bob.
Wow.
First interview as a
first interview, man. Remember that? Just shaking like a leaf too, man. We was like, we got you, because we had already did a gang of interviews by then. So we was like, we got you, man. We'll help you with the questions and everything, man. She was so scared, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we already knew Luda, and he just was just wishing that he was gonna, one day be an artist, man. And look at him now. He just blew up out of nowhere, man.
One more quick history while we talking about history. Luda's first performance on stage, because we went with one. This was right after we had put 112 together, and 112 had just came out. So 112 was invited to be judges in this talent show.
Yeah.
Luda's first time performing publicly as a rapper. He was.
Yeah. Sure was. It's crazy. But yeah, it was called Rabbit Hole or something, that joint that he had. Everybody think he playing on radio. It was dope though, man. And then he just blew up, man. And then Pharrell and Timberland, they liked him. And then that's when he got involved with them. Yeah.
Wow.
Nah, he kept saying, no, I'm making it, man. He used to come over and look at our cars, man, and just look at the house. He's like, I gotta have this, man. And then I remember we used to always have remember when Mike Tyson was he always come on and he fight and all that. We have some fight parties at the crib, right? And they always come over. So Luda, he be the only one coming over there to me and Bobby. Hey, man, so what did y'all do? He's asking a million questions, man. I'm like, hey, Bob, when they like that, man, you know how it go. They're going to make it, man. He wasn't even looking at, he wouldn't, the fight. I was a big fight for Mike. I can't remember what it was. He wasn't even thinking about the fight. He just kept asking us questions after question, man. I'm like, man, this guy, man, going to blow up, because when you ask questions, that means that, man, that's all you thinking about. You know what I mean? I gotta figure out a way to get in. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to Luda, man. He just kept on pushing, and look at him now, man. Doing records, movies, man. You know what I'm saying? This new Fast Furious, man, finna be really big.
F9.
So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't know if Bobby V is coming back, but I really wanted to touch on this with you guys, all three of you guys, because it's not only the hits that you guys have, but it's those album cuts, those unreleased songs that never came out. I'm just going to name a couple, and I want to see the reaction, but I just need to know the Bobby V formula. Songs like Make You the Only One, If I Can't Have You, You and Me. There's just so many, and you go on YouTube, you type in Bobby V, Tim and Bob, and there's a bunch more. What's the Bobby V formula? You got to let the people know.
It's crazy, because I think most times how it would start, the most common times is Tim would either pull up a sample, and then we'd just be like, oh, let's stop.
Yeah.
If he'd pull up a sample, or or it's a concept or something, but a lot of times it started at the drum machine. But then sometimes Bobby would be like, hey man, I need something heartfelt, man. I want something heartfelt. So then we'll start at the piano or something, or we'll start. But from there, it was basically about putting some beautiful melodies over some dope beats. That's really the sum of it, man. And talking about something dope and fly that you know, as most people as possible could relate to and it resonate with. And so that's, you know, it seems like that's that's the best way I can say the formula would be like some dope beats with some beautiful melody on top of that, and like you know, saying something, just saying something just dope, you know, with some substance, but like not too old or not too young. Most
Right.
people like to or have experienced, and you know. So anyway, that's what
And you know what, man? And the piggyback on what Bob was saying, man, we always, it's the weirdest thing, man. And people might not even think this, man, but we found so many artists, man. I'm just gonna keep it real, man. Like either we found them or we developed them, man. Destiny's Child, Monica. I'm just gonna go and be real, man. Everybody know it, man. Destiny's Child, Monica, Jagged, 112, because remember, Bob, we had Wingo first. He was, and then Bear put him in there with, you know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is like Usher. Like we developed so many artists because Dallas knew that we were the ones that was really patient with vocals and vocal range. That's from us being in church, man. And, you know, obviously Bob bringing me in when we were shorties in church, man. So we always loved harmony, and then my dad too. Cause he would come down to the basement and be like, "Hey man, I love that harmony y'all doing, man." He said, "Man, but y'all should stick to that 1-3-5, man." But we used to always listen to Carpenters and Jam and Lewis, in 7ths and 9ths and 11ths and all that in the harmony. So me and Bob just developed that from my mom's basement, man. Yeah. And we just kept that. We was like, no, we want to just, you know, keep our sound. That's gonna be a part of our sound. Yeah. But to add on to it is, Bobby really is one of the only ones where we just didn't have no strings, nobody holding us saying, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about this. All of them was like 112, even though we did a lot of them, but everybody was like, maybe. Boyz II Men, you know what I mean? He was the only one where we was like, okay, this is like our Janet right now. Yeah. We can go. Whatever we think about, all these artists that we learn from, gospel, R&B, whatever, jazz, whatever, we can put it into this right here and really make it like how what Jam and Lewis does with Janet, interludes, all that stuff. Make them all match and meld and melt together and make this one. You hear interlude and you're like, wow, okay, I like that. Dang, I wish that was a song. Okay, no, okay, we finna give you the song after the interlude. It's just all that we didn't have. It was no holds barred, man. Yeah, so he was the only artist then that, like I said, that, man, it just whatever we can think of, man, we just do it and live with the results. Either they like it or they don't. You know what I mean? So I think that's what really made people start recognizing who Tim and Bob really was, because Bobby kept saying it on the front of the songs, on every song, to the point where like Luda and all them was like, hey man, I think y'all need to he's saying it on every one of the joints, man. That's like 12 joints he's saying Tim and Bob. Y'all find 6 that we're gonna erase that. Because you know what I mean? Because it was just us. It felt like it was just us against the world, man. Like, because it was weird. It was a weird thing, man. Like, they liked him, but it was the industry. Oh, that's what it was too. Remember, Bob? Like, a lot of artists, a lot of labels was fold, man. And they was getting rid of some artists and they was keeping some artists. Like, we had this one artist, man, dude. I mean, I know I'm going all over the place, but it's all
good.
Sense,
all
man,
good.
Daniel DeBoer, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
So that's when we was like, I guess we took our frustrations out and then, you know, transferred it to Bobby, because that was the same way. Like, no strings, no nothing. And you talking about with you know, the biggest dudes in the world from Warner Brothers, man. That was what? Who's that? Bob and 3? That was what, Lenny Waronker, Mike Austin and Mo Austin.
And Mo Austin guys.
Yeah. So they just was like, here, go ahead. And then Robbie too, Robbie Robinson.
Yeah.
So they just let us. They was like, go ahead, just go. So that folded up, and then me and Bob got so mad that we was like, damn, we got to get something else like that again, man. Because now we know the feeling of being just like free like that to just do whatever you want. We like, dang, no wonder why Jam and Lewis, man, and Janet Allen be sounding like that. Nobody in their ear telling them like, nah, man, do it like this. Nah, we need this. Nah, I don't like that record. Do that. You know what I mean? Turn the drums down. They're too hard. It was none of that with Bobby because nobody wasn't around but us, you know? So I think that's why that first album came out really well. You know what I mean? That was one of our first ones, believe it or not. And we was kind of pretty deep in our career. That was one of the first ones that we just was like, man, nobody told us what to do.
Yeah. And then I was just listening to this song earlier, the record, Are You Ready? That joint is crazy.
Oh, that's Bob, man. He came up with that.
Are you
ready? That was sweet.
Are You Ready off
Remember that, Bob? What album was that?
Well,
That was Bob came up with that.
I mean, what artist is that though? Are you ready?
Bobby V.
Bobby. Remember, Are You Ready, Bobby? That you came up with. Yeah, I just put a couple little drums up under his drums. Bob did that. That was dope.
I can't think of the song you're talking about. Are you ready?
I forgot. I got the verse, man, but it'd be going, Are you ready? Are you ready? Something.
Man, I have.
You have some crazy stuff going on in there, man.
Damn, Bobby is back on.
Is Bobby back? Bobby, come back in. We need you to sing Are You Ready for Bobby.
I know, right? I don't remember the back half of it. I remember Are You Ready part, though.
It's funny. It is funny to go on YouTube and put like in Bobby V because so many songs come on there. You know,
it sure do.
Stuff.
It sure do, man.
Get that you did together, like.
Yeah.
He could probably put out 3 or 4 albums of songs that didn't come.
Easily, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Easily. You know what's so crazy? I don't even know how they got on there. Like, I don't know how to put anything. I still, to this day, I mean, I kind of do, but now, you know what I'm saying? But back then, I didn't know how to put nothing on YouTube, man.
So
like, I'm like, how's all these records on here? How'd they get on? You know what it was? It was from the engineers, though.
Yeah.
When we leave, we do, you know, they kept them there, whatever studio we was working at, and then, you know, they sharing it, because that's how all stuff get on YouTube, man. It's got to be from sharing, you know what I mean? So, especially back then when it first started. So it's kind of fresh then. And it wasn't us leaking it, man, because we didn't want it to leak. We wanted them to come out. Nah, that was weird.
Let me see if we can add Bobby back in here. If not, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk about that vault that you have, Tim.
Oh man!
I know you've got some unreleased songs. I know you've got some stuff that we need to hear.
Bobby, I think Bob got them all, man. Dude, man.
I don't.
You know what? I lost so many, man.
I don't.
I can pull it. I mean, put it this way: we can go on YouTube, all of us.
Dat player. I have a couple DATs. But that's it. I don't have a DAT player. You got a DAT player, Tim? There he is.
Here, Bobby.
Man, y'all gotta excuse the Mexican music. I'm at the dock and they got the Mexican going.
Hey, Bobby, I love your boat, man. How it go fast?
Yeah, it's a cabin cruiser. It's like, you know, it's the big boy.
Nice.
That's sweet, man.
It got the little inside with the kitchen and all of that.
Where you keep it at?
At the dock.
Where at on the dock? In Florida?
In Florida?
No, I'm in I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
In Lake Lanier. The one that everybody like scared of, but it be popping like crazy out here. I just left like this popping little party. I'm out here by myself though, really. But I just left this little party that be popping over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you always be rolling everywhere by yourself. You gotta be careful with that, man.
Oh yeah. You know, I got something for I keep my friend with me. So somebody, if I go out, somebody going with me.
Right.
And thanks
Bobby,
to Tim Bob. Thanks to Tim and Bob,
Bobby,
I'm living a hell of a life, you know.
For sure, Bobby. We need you to remind us how Are You Ready goes. Bob doesn't remember.
Loving, I ain't gonna do.
Okay, I had the melody right. I just didn't sound like him.
Yeah. Tim might not have really heard it. And you know, after they do tracks, they don't really listen to they tracks. They just, that was like a Bob throwaway. You know what I'm saying?
That was dope.
I just put some sauces on there.
No, I remember because when it came back, and then I mixed everything basically.
Yeah.
So when I heard it, Bob was like, "Man, just put a little kick up under there," and I just put a kick and a snare under there. We just left it alone, and that was dope.
Man, they got this
You know
Mexican
what?
music.
That's a
Listen,
proud
they got this
favorite, man. A
Mexican
lot of
music
people
so
like.
loud.
What's
They got
that?
the Mexican
What's going?
music so loud, man. I might have to get off of here, man.
It's all good, man.
But we can still hear you though.
Oh, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm on the bottom of my boat now, so it's a little better.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's like that, Cutters. You got a boat, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Nice.
Living like that. Be like, man, you sitting in the condo like, I don't want to go on my boat today, man.
Exactly.
That's jumping on the boat.
That's how it was today. I was just like, I worked out, and my homeboy hit me. He was like, "Yo, it's popping up here. Come up here." And I ain't have nothing else to do, so I was like, "Let me go up here." Plus, I need to clean the boat up anyway. I'm about to clean it up because I be having some little turned up parties out here, and I ain't been out here in a minute. So I just came, and it's like extra filthy. So take a little time to clean it. Then I'm gonna go watch that basketball game. See what the
Oh,
Nets.
it's on right now. 24
Yeah,
to 12.
what's the score?
24 to 12. Brooklyn losing by 12.
What's the name? Hurt, ain't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Harden playing though.
Oh, Harden playing. Yeah, they only need one.
Yeah.
You don't even need all them guys on one team.
I know, right? But man,
I know.
That's
they
a
might
lot of
lose
guys.
this one, man. 24 to 15. They're getting dominated right now.
Hey guys, let me ask you this. For all three of you guys, what's your favorite song that you guys have done together?
Wow.
Just one.
Wow.
Bobby, I'll start with you. Your favorite record that you've done with Tim and Bob?
Me?
Yep.
Man, it's a tough one.
That's the one that changed my life. Even though it's not my favorite, it's still gotta be like up there. But I probably one of my favorites is If I Can't Have You.
Oh, yep.
They probably don't even remember that until I just sing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody else.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Bob, we did that at Tito's studio, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When the homeboy kicked around my MPC, that's a whole other story. But
Yeah. I think my favorite one is either Slow Down or Video.
Mm.
man, there's so many, man. Golly.
There's so many though.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Maybe one of mine might be, man. Love Dream, man. And then Tell Me, maybe. Tell Me Up for the Up. Tell Me.
Yeah, Tell Me. Yeah.
That came out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then Love Dream, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me take Love Dream back, man. I'm on the edge and I'm
Oh, yep. I was just listening to that.
Yeah. I think that's my Tell Me and On the Edge, maybe.
On the oh.
Remember that one, Bobby?
Which one?
Edge?
Huh?
I'm on the edge and I'm breaking down. Man, yo, almost can't even hear that, man, because it just makes you mad that wasn't a single.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Because that's when the label got in, man. And that's
a lot of songs I can't hear because it's not fair, man. It's not fair.
And then the label wasn't doing, they wasn't really taking care of you like that, man.
Yeah.
They're on the edge, man. Because you know what? It was all the way R&B. But the way we did the track sounded like it was, eventually it was going to cross over with ease.
It would have.
Just like,
and really, that's where we were going with Bobby V. I supposed to be, my music, working with Tim and Bob, it progressed and it got bigger. Like, if you really, in the grand scheme of things. But I kind of got caught in the box of just R&B. But we were so just, like, thinking differently about the music. It was progressing to bigger. But because I got in that box, because I was signed to major labels that had people in office that knew nothing about music and knew nothing about where I was trying to go as an artist, it kept me in one place. And ultimately, I'm not complaining. But I supposed to be way on a different level because of the music that we were doing and what we were trying to create was bigger.
Mhm.
It was a
Yeah.
start. It was a start with Slow Down, and we were going bigger, but they didn't see the vision, and they never see the artist's vision because they don't care about you. At the end of the day, you're just an artist. Artists come and go to these labels. They can care less about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're the artist and you're the producers and you guys know y'all vision and somebody else come in and say, no, that ain't y'all. That ain't what y'all supposed to be doing. It blow the whole situation up.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I was just saying that before you came back. That's exactly what I was saying, man.
Mhm.
Especially back
Cause
then.
they don't care about you. They could care
Yeah.
less. You're just another number. You're just another artist. Okay. Oh, you had a hit record. All right, who's next? Oh, we
Yeah.
got one over here. Come on over here.
You know what it
Okay.
is, man. But Bob,
All right.
I think Bob was going in and out. It might have been from Bobby. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was the
Cut it
music.
down.
So I know I have you guys for a
Bobby is
little bit.
stupid, man.
Yeah, man. I know I have you guys for a little more time here. I'm trying to figure out because, Tim, you came up with a brilliant concept. We might have to do it next time, but it would be super cool just to be on a live with you guys and go through the catalog, hit for
Okay.
hit.
Oh yeah,
I
that
don't
For
know if
sure, man.
would be cool.
For sure.
I don't know if we want to do that right now. We'll give them a preview, right? Because I want to talk about this record because I was just playing it earlier. The Tamia record, Into You. I want to know about the songwriting. Like that songwriting, it's like poetry on that record.
Well,
Man, you know what's crazy, man, about that record is me and Bob came to work on Boys and Men. We was doing some remixes or something out here in California, right? And
Mhm.
then we ended up putting Mario Winans on. So Mario was already out here working on Tamia already. And he just hit us out of nowhere and said, "Hey man, I'm out here, man." We was like, "Huh?" Like, "Yeah, man, I'm over at Quincy Jones' studio working." So we just went over there to just go see what he was doing. We didn't even think of nothing. Nothing was gonna happen, anything. And we got over there, and Grant Hill was over there, and then we just started talking to Grant, and he knew some of the people from our hometown. He was like, "Yeah, I remember him, man. He hooped, man, in the McDonald's All-America, da-da-da." So one thing led to another, and then the A&R, which was in, he was like, "Hey, man, I know who y'all are, man. Y'all got some records, man? Y'all got some records to play?" We was like, "I mean, we got a few." And I remember the Commodores say, "Yeah, my dad's band used to do the joint, right?"
Yeah.
So I remember I just messing around one day, man, just looped it and cut it up a little bit and put the Mary Jane girls that Rick James produced. I just
Yeah.
put the drums on there and left it alone. And I wasn't even thinking about it, man, because I put it to a cassette. So I was like, whatever. So then when he was like, "Let's put some on," I'm going through my bag, and that's the first one I could see. Just threw it in there. Same thing like the thong song, man. I was the first one that came on. Like, "Oh, what's that?" Same thing. So then it's like, "Hey, man, we're going to get another studio for y'all to go do it real quick." So me and Bob scrambling, trying to figure out, who, we called Brandy. I think Brandy came over and did a few things on it, but I'm not sure. But then we ended up getting Mario to do a lot of the back, if I can remember. And then we just kept his backgrounds on there.
yeah.
But when we came back to the hotel to change up a little bit, I had the hook already. So I was like, I called Bob. I said, "Bob, I think I got the hook." He was like, "What?" I said, "I really like what you." Then Bob was like, "Hey, I like that, man." So then Bob came up with the first verse and the melody and all that. That's really was our. Believe it or not, that was a piece of our secret too. Like I was the hook dude. Bob was the melody dude for the first verse. He always come up with a way to start. Every now and then we switch, but for the most part, like 80% of it, I come up with the hook, Bob come up with the melody and the verse, the first verse, man.
Yeah, because when I heard that hook, I was like, wow, that's so crazy. And so I think we used to talk about this a lot as we would work from artist to artist, but our favorite to write for was actually females.
Yeah, it was.
Like we thrive. I think we thrive either way, but we really thrive writing for females and speaking from their perspective. And so, but when I heard that hook, man, it was just like, so then So then I wrote the first verse. So then that's when Tim had the pre-chorus. And the pre-chorus was like sicker than the hook. I was crazy.
And remember, Bob? Well,
and so then,
and we don't say it because
Tamia
keep getting in trouble.
Tamia was just really getting into writing, and she was wanting to, you know, build her catalog. We had her write the second verse. And so
no, Bob, remember? She changed. I had the whole second verse. She said, I don't know what it is, boy, but I know that I'm feeling this way. She just came up with that part. So I already had the verse, remember? She said, can I write on the second? Can I write a piece of the second verse? We was like, and then she came up with the back part of it though. So, you know, we was like, all right, if we let her do that, we might get 2-3 more joints on it. You know, that's just the way the game was back then. So she came up with that back part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. A lot of, you know, me and Bob, you know what? We was 100%ers all day, man.
Yeah.
It's just that we was always making sure that we wanted to get 5 on your album. We was trying to play the political game. We knew, like, all right, if we let them write on there and we ain't trying to just hog the whole record, maybe we can get 3, 4, 5. Who knows? You know what I mean? So we kept inviting people. We knew we write them at night because it's just how we was producing before we got in the game. What? In Detroit, 2-3 years, and then before that, my mom basement, man, we was writing like whole records in like 2 minutes and just go to the next one, the next and next. So that wasn't an issue. It's just that we had to get into like, okay, man, we got to get to the political thing here.
Yeah.
Everybody started to figure out what publishing is. So we already know, like, if they get with a younger producer, they might write the whole thing. It might be whack, but they got publishing on it. You know what I'm saying? So we was like, we got to be political with this, man. So that's what we did with a lot of the records, man.
Nice. You know, it's funny. I'm reading the comments right now, and I gotta fact check a couple of things. They asked, "Did you guys do They Don't Know by John B?" Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Did they do Missing You by Case? Yes, they did. But someone wanted me to ask you this. You guys had a Michael Jackson moment. He called you guys in the middle of a session.
Yeah, because we were working on this group called Jersey Ave. I forgot what label they were signed to.
Dang, it was dope. MCA, remember that was
Yeah, that was the night that John McClain, you know, who handles Michael's estate. John McClain called us at the record plant. Yeah, and that's when that happened. He was like, "Yeah, Mike told me to call you guys. He loves the thong song, but he said if y'all can't come up, he said if y'all can come up with something hotter than thong song, come to this address."
And we was like, hold on, what?
It was we felt bad leaving that session, man, and they were really understanding, and we like, you know, we ended up making it up to them and to that label. But I mean, how often do you get that call in the middle of another session? It's so
that was crazy. And then they, you know what? They teased us with that before because homeboy Bob, what was his name? That was the engineer over there the whole time. He lived right down the street from us in Atlanta. What was his name?
Registered. You talking about Registered?
Was it Registered? Not Registered. He had the braids. The other dude, remember? He the one hipped us up to the movie Kama Sutra. What's his name? He was hilarious, man.
Nettlesby.
But that's what it was. John Nettlesby. He hit us a day before that, and he was just like dabbling with the ideas. Like, hey, man, I think John wants y'all to come over there. We was like, oh, man, for who? He said, man, Michael Jackson. We was like, nah, man. So we wasn't even paying any attention to it. And then what Bob's saying, that's when we got to the studio. Hey, yo, man, we want to grab all y'all stuff, man. Have a courier come and grab all y'all stuff. Or we got everything over there. Man, he got every toy at that studio you can think of, man. You name it, he had it. He had one of them joints that the Beatles had that they what's the name of him? It's in the Turia package, man. It was God, man, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, man, they was the only ones that had them at the beginning. It's really, really hard to work. I'm gonna answer that, man, when next time we talk, because I might be going there and go look at it, man. But man, he even had one of them. We was over there looking at that, man, was like, what? he got one of these. I mean, he had every toy.
Yeah, and all kind of stuff.
And we just went in there and just did our thing, man. And remember this, Bob? Every time we did a joint, he would call and he would tell Nettlesby to put the phone up to the speaker, right? And, oh my God, that's awesome. I'm turning around. Tell him to keep going. Keep going. He turn around and go back to Neverland. We like, is he coming, man? He like, nah, he loved that so much. He turned around, man, and just went back home. We like, hey, now, okay, he worked a little weird, man, but all right, you know. So we just stayed in there for a while. It was weird, man. But it worked out, man. It ended up working out, man. That was fun, man. Just the experience of just knowing that Mike like one of your songs. It was like, are you serious? Michael Jackson.
Did he end up cutting it?
I mean, we did so many, man. He cut some of them, but we didn't get a chance.
Yeah. Like, that's how he worked. When he worked, like he buys all the publishing for the songs.
Exactly.
Instead of paying rate, he'll pay you like 3 or 4 times your rate. So he'll buy. So it's like it's kind of like you don't know what goes on with the record after that. If it doesn't use on the album. And there was other things, you know, there was other things involved, like politically, other things happened on that project. It was the reason why we didn't end up not getting on there too. But we found out later, John McClane came to DreamWorks when we did with DreamWorks. He was more open about that situation and why this happened and why. So then we were like, oh, okay, that explains everything.
You know what one of them was? I remember one of them, Bob.
Yeah, it didn't involve producers, huh?
You remember? I remember one of the reasons why. I remember. I think that okay, so Rodney was before us, right? And he did the same thing. He was doing a lot of the same things with Rodney. Like hear a joint. I love it. Keep going. Next day, I love what you're doing. Keep going. So Rodney got so mad that he went to a Lakers game. So when he went to a Lakers game, they pulled all his equipment over to the side and they threw us in there. So when Rodney heard about that, that's when, you know, I guess they had a conversation and then, you know, we got kicked out of there.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's what that was one of them. I know I remember that one, but you know, all good, man. You know, I just talked to Rodney the other day, man. We all cool, but that was one of the time. That was one of the things that happened too. But,
hey, man, it's a competitive time. That's competition right there.
And he worked with everybody. He worked with Dallas, Joe, Devontae.
Yeah.
I wish we could have heard the records, man, that Devontae did, because they said he did some, man, before Rodney. But,
wow.
Crazy.
You know, that's the way it go, man, back then. Yeah. You just happy that you know, he even coming across an artist like that, even coming across his mind.
Right.
To think about you. You know what I mean? You just like, wow.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You know, I love hearing all these stories that you guys share. Like, Tim, you told that story the last time we spoke that you guys had a chance to sign the Neptunes. Dallas had a chance to sign the Neptunes, and he passed them. That's like the crazy, like, I still think about that. Like, how do you mess that one up?
It's funny because when I ran into Dallas, he came up to me. This was like probably 8 years ago. He was like, it was funny because it was at Boa, out of all places. I ran into Dallas.
Boa Steakhouse?
I didn't know that when y'all was talking about Pharrell that he was trying to sign. I was like, yes. like Pharrell, he told me that y'all was trying to like get him signed over there. He said, man, I did not know that. I said, here we are 20-something years later, yes. Yeah, that was.
Hey, yo, remember that record, Bob, when we walked in? I think we was working on, I want to say it was Shanice. We was walking in and we heard they was blasting the joint, man, in one of the DSC rooms. Man, it was is this the world from Joe?
Yeah.
But Joe.
Yeah.
If this is the world.
Man, we was like, who is that? So we walked in our session, man. I was like, hold on, Bob, I'll be right back. I gotta go see what this is, man. And walked in there, and then we just 2 little dudes, man, you know, they was little, they was young, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it was
crazy.
Just them. And we went and told Dallas about him. We was all in a dupe room where they dupe DATs back in the day. We was all in there. I said, hey, man, play that one y'all was just playing. And they had played 2 more for me when they was in there because Bob was in the other room. He didn't hear the 2. I was like, Bob, wait you hear these, man. So they just kept playing them, man. And then here come Dallas. And when Dallas do this, we was like, then we just told him to meet us in New York, man. And then, you know, Puffy heard him and rest is history, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And they was like, man, y'all need to manage us, man. We was like, man, we don't know. We barely know how to manage ourselves. We don't. Remember that, Bob? Pharrell was like, man, y'all need to manage us, man. It's like, man, we don't know anything about no management, man. Like, we brand new like y'all, man. You know, so, nah, that was the times, though, man. It was just the grind and getting in there and And you know what was the beautiful thing about our career, man, is that's why we learned a lot so fast, because Dallas was still young, too.
Yeah.
Dallas and Bob was the same age. I think Bob just got his license or something, man.
Yeah, me and Dallas.
Like, yeah, I'm a couple years older than them. So
yeah,
all of us was just young and just doing records and just buying all these cars and doing all this different stuff, man. We didn't really know too much about the business, man. We had to trust a couple other cats to tell us. And then LA would always like take us up to tell us to come up to his office. Like, look, man, here's what y'all do. Y'all do this and this and this and this. Y'all doing this right? Y'all doing that right? Man, I need to have y'all go see this other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we had no idea what we was doing, man. We just was like happy to do music, man. We just doing music. And then remember Bob, Joe Caps was like, what's the most important thing? Y'all look out the window and what's the most important thing that y'all see out there? We looking around. We like, what you talking about, man? Like, we don't know. He was like, that bank right there. And mind you, man, it was like a grocery store, a club, 112 Club, all that. He was like, if you're not in that line over there, man, cashing checks, then what are we doing, man? He said, that's why they call it music business, not business. He said, it's music business. And that stuck with me, man, all the way from that day when he told us, man. And I was just one of the lessons, man. I'm like, that makes for it to be like a small little line said, it's the music business, not music and not business, music business. So that just stuck with me, man. Like, you know what I mean? And we started trying to teach each other more about every time we hear something from somebody, if I forgot, Bob remind me and vice versa, man. That's how we just navigated through the business, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
You know, the other thing I was thinking about, I actually texted Bob about this earlier. I was listening to those songs that you guys did with Bobby Brown and Been Around the World.
Oh.
I had no idea Usher recorded a version of that too.
Yeah. Sure
did, huh? You right.
Bobby got mad at us when we did that too. He got mad at us because there was a little time that went by from when he cut it and when it actually came out. Because we went through this phase, like, you know, I think we had told you before, I had told you before, like, Bobby would go to get in these moves where he wouldn't show up at the studio and have a session. So anyway, we ended up cutting it on Usher. And so I just remember him being salty, like, man, because at this time, Usher was like 17, 18. He was a kid. And Bobby, how he gonna sing that record? He ain't never even been around the world. That was funny. But he did cut it. Yeah. He cut it. That was
man.
Yeah, that was, man. I think we did we did a lot of records, man, for that album because, man, he was starting to get in. Well, New Edition was doing an album and then he was doing a movie. So we was just wherever he wanted us to come, we just rolling out with him, man. That's what took so long for the album to come out. It was crazy, man, but that was fun, man, because we got a chance to see, you know, California more and more studios. So when we made it out here, we kind of knew what, you know, studios was pretty good because all we knew was like Dark, and then what was the other one in Atlanta that we liked?
Doppler.
What was the other one, Bob? Doppler, and then obviously LA's Crib. He had a studio.
Yeah, that was called La Coke.
Yeah. La Coco,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So there was only 3 that we knew there. But out here, you know, obviously in LA, man, I mean, it was a studio on every corner.
Yeah.
So being with Bobby, man, we kind of learned more studios where they were at, and a little more navigation around the, you know, city and all that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was fun, man.
Hey, man,
That
I
was
gotta
fun.
ask this. Well, there's 2 questions here. Someone asked, did you really get sued like 10 times for the thong song? I think that's actually true.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Oh
But it
man.
wasn't all our fault. You know what? It wasn't all our fault, man. You
Yeah.
know what? Our boy, he our boy too right now, man. If he watching or he hear about this, he got it, man. Jaha, man. He was the A&R of that project, man. He was like, I got you, Tim. Don't worry about it, man. Because he kept saying, man, like, put this on the end, man. Put this break beat on the end of it, man. And I'm like, all right. So then when I was done, I'm like, okay, man, y'all had me add like 3 or 4 more like stuff in the back. And I knew all the break beats. I'm like, these, man, like one of them was James Brown, like one of his off bands and all that. And then there was another band too, man. They didn't let you mess with their samples. I'm like, hey, man, y'all sure y'all gonna clear these, man? Because like we already got Live on La Vida Loca. We got some other stuff going on. And then all the stuff he wanted us to add on the end, man. I'm like, you sure, man? We got it. We got it. I guess they forgot, man, because, man, golly, man, it's what, 10 writers on that, man?
It was crazy, man.
There's a lot of writers on that song, man.
It
It was only me, Bob, and Cisco. But he living a vida loca. Now you got homeboy Desmond Child in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we adding all this other stuff in the back that only lasted for like 40 seconds. Sue from them. This on and on,
man.
Yeah, we probably could retire off of those.
Yeah, it was in litigation for like 4 years.
Man,
it was crazy.
That's crazy.
But you know,
well,
we grateful, man, because I think that's still to this date, man. Far as like, you know, songs around the world, that's probably our biggest one. You know what I mean?
That's a classic. When you guys listen to that song now, what comes first? Do you think, man, that was a dope song, or does the lawsuit just immediately come to mind?
No, I don't even think about the lawsuit, man, because
I think about it. Remind me when we had just built that house. I think about when you first showed me that sample that day.
Oh yeah,
it was a little different when you first did the track. And
yeah,
I think all
you know,
I don't know. I guess like, you know, just crazy, man. You just never know where a song end up. You know,
and
I'm thinking about Jackson and coming up with songs from Michael Jackson's. So that day he showed me that track he had started. It was just it's crazy.
Yeah.
and to add to what Bob was saying, man. Some of our biggest records for real, man, we wouldn't even just like, we wouldn't even think like, you just don't even be thinking. You just, you know, because I remember, man, when we just built that house, our manager and ourselves, we was like, man, we got to get a studio in the basement, man. But it was taking a little time. So we had so many rooms in the in the house. We just took one, man, where I just had my SP1200, like 3 MPCs and all the records in there. So I was just on the floor, just like, you know, just chopping joints up and then go to the next one, go to the next one. Hey, Bob, check this out, man. You know, and Bob, man, that's dope, man. And then he'll play, I'll play a little something, I'll be like, Bob, I played this guitar in there, here, like, fix this right here. And then Bob will just play in there and play right into the MPC. We put it to the, so a lot of them, So Into You, So Into You, Joe, Beautiful. I don't know.
Beautiful.
So many records, man. Like, wasn't even thinking about that. I ain't nobody like this. Saying what thong song, like
songs that were never. Yeah, crazy.
Just wasn't even thinking, man. Just doing the records and then putting them to the side, man. Then we had so many groups that just never came out. We had a group from our city.
Mm.
It was called 309. We changed their name like 5 times. Man. If they would have came out, man.
Wow.
Rob, I'm telling you, man, when I was back, man, I was talking to Kevin, and he was coming up with a lot of, remember, man, Holiday?
Yes.
Holiday,
Point.
naming a gang of them, man. I was like, I forgot all about these, man. I was tearing my mom's house up looking for them, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
Holiday, and it was another one, Fab One Wish.
One Wish, yeah.
Golly, man.
So many songs.
Next to You.
Oh, Next to You.
You know what? Kevin got all of them. They on it's the same thing what Bobby was saying. They're on cassette. So he said he just sent them to me, and then I got this one program I helped work with with Arteria that what it does is it works on frequencies. So when a frequency pops up, when it keeps popping up, it grabs it and cleans it up. Then you can just EQ it and mess with it, man, and then like kind of put it back in it, and it'll sound like it's right on the CD.
Right.
I do it all the time with my albums, man, all the time. I don't know if I can see
Wow.
the jump out here, but I do it all the time. Like if there's a lot of popping in the record,
Oh,
like
nice.
this thing just grabs, it goes upon frequencies. So if you kind of got to make it really, really hot, and it just grabs the song, man, and just make it clean. I'm about to send it to you, Bob. You're going to bug out, man. You're going to bug out, man. It just make cassettes, anything sound like a CD. It's tripped out.
Wow, that's great.
So I'm waiting for Kevin right now. What up, Kevin? If you're on here, there he is right now. See Kevin? Kevin, send them songs, man. There's a group called 309. Look, check this out. One more thing about them. How about, man, when we were working on their album, 112 was on like against the wall on the floor watching us produce them.
Wow.
They hadn't had
Remember
a
that,
deal.
Bob?
Well, didn't have a deal at the time, yeah.
Wow.
Did in their sessions, like, wow, man, one day this gonna be, and then they put in the work too. So yeah, that's much history, man. Wow,
Wow.
There's a lot of history, man. We need to do like, man, at least 10 of these if you want to catch up with all the stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's what we have to do. Like the next time we do this, we're gonna go through the whole catalog. But what I'll do right now is I want to ask both of you guys, and this is going to be a tough question because your catalog is crazy, but what's your favorite song that you guys have done together? Not the biggest hit. I don't care about hits. Yeah, I don't care about I don't care about stats or anything, awards. I don't care about all of that. Just one when you look back at, you're just like, yeah, that's the one. I know there's a lot.
Dang, man, that's a loaded question, man.
Then like, what's the single?
We did so many.
It doesn't have to be a single. It just has to be a song.
Honestly, man, like I had to. For me, I would go into you. I know it's like, you know, that song everybody know, whatever, but that's one of my favorite songs we've ever done. Like, man, you know, it's weird. I swear that song was 20-some years old. Like, I still get chills every time I hear that song, man. And
yeah, when you're just driving, it just pop.
Yeah,
like
how simple. I don't want to like downplay anything, but that's how, like, because I had already heard Tim messing with that track and that sample, but told me the hook. I was like, that's crazy. So then that's when I wrote the first verse, whatever. It just happened so easy, like, but for it to still be around, you know, and more popular now than it was, you know, 25 years ago.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well,
I agree.
Well, you got to think also, it was a hit with Tamia, and then it became a hit with Fabulous, and that was the hook that you guys did.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
That was like one of them things where it was like a perfect storm, man. Like I didn't even really think that was going to even make the album, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff we had to go through to record it, man. Like, couldn't find anybody. Tamia wasn't checking for us. She didn't even know who we were. So, like, you know what I mean? She just met us when we walked up in there, man. Grant was Grant Hill was telling her about us. Because he knew some of our boys. Like, yeah, I know they boys, man. They play basketball. They was at the McDonald's.
Right.
So I was just thinking about that laughing, man. She just shook our hands. She was like, oh. So they had to hip her on to our catalog, man. But she didn't really, she knew, but she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of them things. And then Mario kept telling her about us. But then that's why we had to make sure that the record was tight when we came back with it.
Yeah.
When we came back with it, that's when everybody was like, whoa. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what we do, man. Like, y'all putting pressure on us, man. Okay, that's what we do, man. We really, we crazy under pressure. So they kept like pressuring us because it was like they was like giving us like an ultimatum. Like, if you don't do it today, we ain't gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man. We went in there and just did our thing on it, man. And then they put out Jermaine's joint, and then they spent so much money on it. We was like, they didn't even get to it. Matter of fact, they did. Remember, Bob? They closed the album down, and then they gave us one more. They gave to me. They just white labeled it, and it just did what it did.
Yeah. And that's one
So
thing I was going to add to why So Into You was my favorite too. I think is because like LA was like, man, thank God that he was one of our early mentors, because early in our career, because where we had come from and like, you know, coming from church and all that, we put too much in our songs early on. And so friends would tell us that, like, man, y'all overproducing, y'all gotta simplify. LA would say that, simplify your records. Leave the first hook alone. Don't put no ad-libs on the first hook. Let them hear that hook. You know, so all these little things. So I think So Into You was the first time that, after getting a lot of those lessons from LA, that we got a release and we actually implemented those things he was telling us. And I never forget when, like, y'all did it. That's what I'm talking about. He sent us went #1. And so, but yeah, just the letter, he's like, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all did it. And so, like, I always think about that, man. And I think that's why that song probably sings.
You know who he did that for too, Bob? I don't know if you remember. Was when we did They Don't Know. He sent the 2 bottles of Cristal, man. Remember, he was like, "Oh, I did it again, man."
He did that for They Don't Know. But the same like advice he gave us, we applied it to So Into You.
Absolutely.
He sent us the champagne for They Don't Know. You absolutely.
Yep. It actually was, you know what, man? He actually was telling us, he said, man, because we used to always bring our records up there, and then when he would like give us like constructive criticism, like we took it, but we didn't really take it. We was like, nah, man. He's like, all right, man. He's like, y'all might get singles, man, because everybody hearing about Tim and Bob, like the next coming to Jam and Lewis, y'all gonna get singles, but they ain't gonna do nothing on the radio. So be a Bob in the car and be like, man, he just saying that. Sure enough, dude. I'm telling my like first 2-3 singles, man, just went. Because we knew, because we come from, you know, outside of Chicago, man, and they were just playing all pop music. We knew like when the hook come, they just sing on top of the hook. But when you in the actual, you know, doing the records and writing them, you're not really thinking about that. You're thinking about like, no, I want to put the best performance of the vocals on here. I don't care where it's at, on the front, on the end. But we wasn't thinking like, okay, we're listening to the Carpenters, to the Eagles, but we just didn't take them concepts until LA could say, man, look, it's a sin to have them ad-lib on that first hook, man. Remember that Bob kept telling us that? It's a sin, man. Y'all always let them, why y'all have them all over y'all first hook, man. Y'all got some beautiful hooks, man. What are y'all doing, man? So we just be like, then we finally started listening, man. And thank God we listened a little early in our career. So now we just transferred it to like, and I don't care what we did. We just was like, we're going to do it just like this, because you never know what's going to be the single.
Yeah. And it's fun.
And, you know, LA taught us that, man, early. And he was like, they was too long. He said, y'all intros is too long. And y'all got them singing all over the place on the first hook. Because me and Bob had all kind of. All by that time, we 2 minutes into.
Yeah.
We had 2 minute intros, man. I don't know, man. We was just doing all kind of, but we were just trying to just show our, you know, our abilities and all that. Not even thinking about the radio, because
Yeah.
the radio is still to this day, the radio is the key, or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, vehicle that's gonna play your record. You only got, it's like, I don't know if you listen to the radio, man. Think about it, man. You hear like the hook, and you hear
Yep.
maybe a little bit of the verse, and that's
Yep.
it. That's why these days the hook it's the reverse now. It's back to how it was, man. Like
Yep.
it's the hook, little bit of the verse, and that's it. They go to the next record, man. They only give you 30, 45 seconds, especially
No,
during the day. At night, they probably play it a little longer,
Yeah.
but
That's true.
no more no more bridges either.
man,
Right.
we're gonna change that, man, because bridges still need to be in records. I still believe, because that's what make records last. Go in your mind and you think about some of the favorite records, you know, man. They got bridges.
Yep.
Because the bridge make you go like, it's like you can put two songs in one. It's like, you know, the joint is going, then all of a sudden you take it somewhere else, and then you kind of forget a little bit about like what this did. Then you like, dang, that's dope. But then when it come back to this, you like, damn, oh, I forgot about that part. Oh, that's why you love those early Janet records and Sunshine and,
Oh yeah.
you know, man, all that stuff
Yeah.
he was doing, man. Them dope bridges, man. And Gamble and Huff records, LA and Face records, especially
Yep.
LA, Face. He did a bridge in every record, dang it. Never
Yep.
Keeping Secrets.
Oh yeah.
You know, all them. So nah,
Yep.
man. I'm gonna keep doing bridges, man. We got to,
All right.
man. We
But
got
Tim,
to, man.
Tim, you didn't answer the question. What's your favorite Tim and Bob record?
Oh yeah.
Let me see, man.
And I'll tell you what, Tim, you can answer it now. When we do this again, maybe next week with you
I'll
and
come
Bob
back
again,
so I can say it
you
real
can
quick.
you can revise that answer.
Man, we
But what's
did
the
so
first
many
one that comes
records,
to mind?
man. You know what? This might sound weird, man, but and Bob, I remember, man. I remember my mom. She passed away recently, but I remember when she was kind of sick the first time. Remember that, Bob? And I went home. Man, I must have came back, man, and then I took care of her. I mean, I stayed because I was gone for like a month. I must have walked in the house, man. I'm like, Bob and did it again, man. I think, man, my favorite record is Smile, man, that we did.
Ooh.
Smile, because Bob came up with it for actually we did it on a
one.
Yeah, on 112. Remember we did it on Boo Boo first, Derek Cole.
We ended up doing
I think that might be my favorite record we did, man. That's on 112 called Smile.
That's a great, yeah. That's a great song.
I got home, man, and Bob he was working with 112 in the living room.
Yeah, they had came to the house that night.
Like, yeah, and I walked in and they was sounding like birds. Bob had them sounding like better than Derek's version, and it wasn't even on music. I'm like, wow, man. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the studio and do it then, man. And so we did that, and then I just added a little thing, but it's basically that was Bob, man. That's one of my favorite songs, man. I gotta say, man, Bob, that's genius, man. You came up with that, man. I can't even front.
That's a great song. That's a great
remember
song.
when you came up with it too. You know what? That's how he taught me. That's how I learned how to play in the key of B. B flat was from Bob.
Wow.
Because the chords, you know what I mean? Your fingers are so close together when you playing the first chord. And then when you go to the other ones, your fingers is just right there. You got to really move. So I'm like, dang, this B flat and E flat. It's like, okay. So that's the same thing. Really, Bob made me. That's how I learned how to play. And that's one of my favorite keys right now is B flat. It was from Bob.
Wow.
Because that's what key is in. So yeah, man, I think Smile from 112.
That's a great song. That's an amazing song.
It's up there, man. It's that one, and then like Bob says, So Into You.
Yeah,
all the rest of them going down. They Don't Know. They all are babies, man. You know what I mean? But that Smile, man.
But if
I would say the first single too.
My favorite unreleased song is a song because of the sound of it, like because Tim had did this. I'm just gonna say the song, the Mary J song. Lover. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
That song was crazy, man. The track was like,
I remember that, man. There you made me forget. I forgot all about that.
man.
All I wanna be. She was one of our favorite. To me,
That
she was one of my favorite artists to work with, man. Yo, man, let me tell you, her work ethic, man. People need to really, really, man. Like, if she ever come on TV and talk, remember that Bob, man? She would go in the booth, right? First, she would sit there with you. She'd be like, okay, because we would have the hooks together or whatever. So she liked to be around when she'd be like, okay, sing it again. We sing it. She'd be like, okay, one more time. You know what I'm saying right there? Dude, when she go in the booth, she ain't leaving out the booth till it's done. And she was a one-hitter quitter. She go all the way down straight. She'll do the backgrounds, and then she'll be like, okay, all right, give me a track. Let me go and do the verse. Do the verse, man. She walking out, man, drinking some water, and be like, okay, what else y'all got?
She a beast,
and she's unbelievable in the studio, man. Her work ethic, man. Like,
wow.
The way she go in there and just keep it. And I think the reason why she do that is because it stay cohesive on the feeling and the vibe together. You know what I'm saying? So she don't like to be like, I messed up. Let me do it again. Give me another track. She just like to go all the way down on one track on